President of Abhaya Foundation, Mr. P.S. Rao, Chairman CII, Mr. Suresh Garu, FAPSI Chairman Mr. Shiv Kumar Rangta Sab, MLA Hyderabad Gaurav Neelu Chintal Ramchandra Reddy Garu, and again Chairman of Abhaya Foundation Mr. Narsimlu Garu, ఇంకా వేదిక పైన ఉన్న పెద్దలందరికీ వేదిక ముందున్న పెద్దలకు and to my friends from the media. Is this a gathering full of Telugu people or any non-Telugu people as well? Lots of non-Telugus? Few, alright. So I'll probably stick to English then, yeah? Right. So I welcome you all. Obviously this is a fantastic initiative. In fact, this is probably the first of its kind in Hyderabad, where an organization has come forward to talk about what is this new initiative called the Corporate Social Responsibility. In fact, I think Suresh's speech was a nice segue for me into talking about what it is that, you know, this new act that everybody seems to be referring to. As you all know, India is a country which is full of contradictions. On the one hand, we have some highly net worth individuals. On the one hand, you have the Ambani brothers, whose combined net worth, and I think at this point in time, is probably their combined net worth I'm talking, would put them probably as the richest in the world. Now, on the other hand, we have probably the highest number of people below the poverty line, highest number of children who are malnourished, highest number of kids who don't get proper education. So we are a country, we're a bundle of contradictions. We have the two extremes right in our own very country, right in front of our own very eyes. We are one of the largest economies today. In fact, we are, I'm told, the third largest economy in the world. While we all know, as I said, there's an uneven distribution of wealth. We have the haves and the have-nots, and there's a growing concern that the divide is growing as well between the haves and the have-nots. And there is a growing dissent as well among the have-nots that the government has not been taking care of them. So what has happened as a result is governments and regulators, both in the business world, have done their bit, have responded to this whole accusation of the increased gap between the haves and the have-nots. They have responded swiftly. They have come up with a couple of initiatives. In fact, one of the things the government has done in the past is the non-voluntary guidelines have been prescribed by the government to ensure that more and more corporate companies get into the whole idea of social responsibility and get into the idea of nation building. And then SEBI also has responded by way of ensuring that all of its listed companies come out with business responsibility reports every year. So ensuring that all these business organizations, the industry bigwigs, ensuring that they actually do something for the society and ensure that that is audited as well. And government eventually, I think in 2013, has responded and has enacted a law called the Corporate Social Responsibility through Companies Act 2013, and the clause 135 is very, very clear in this. I think Suresh should go through it because he's a little worried. He sounded a little worried. He should go through it. The idea is very simple. What clause 135 of the Companies Act 2013 says is, any company with an annual turnover of over 1,000 crores, or any company with a net worth of over 500 crores, or any company with a net profit of over 5 crores is now mandated to spend 2% of its earnings on what is called corporate social responsibility. And even the guidelines are very, very clear. And the guidelines are explicit, in fact. The guidelines actually mandate that every company floats a CSR committee within its own organization. So there has to be a corporate social responsibility committee within the organization, and it is also mandated that the corporate social responsibility committee should have at least one independent director, so that there's no accusation of any sort of bias. And even the areas where the corporate social responsibility funding or the 2% that needs to be spent have also been defined very, very clearly. In fact, no company can come forward and say, I've earmarked about 2% towards CSR, but I've only spent it on my employees. That's not allowed. And so the areas that have been clearly earmarked are eradication of poverty and hunger, promotion of education, reduction of child mortality and maternal mortality, gender equity, promotion of gender equity and women empowerment, and tackling serious health crises such as HIV/AIDS and other communicable diseases, environmental sustainability, employment and enhancement of vocational skills, social business projects, and contribution towards Prime Minister's Relief Fund or the Chief Minister's Relief Fund, and other projects which also could be looked at. So the areas are clearly defined, and what has to be done by the companies is also clearly defined. Now I think this is the time for organizations like CII, FAPSI, and the NGOs, who are many in number here, for all of you all to come together onto one platform. In fact, I would appeal to you so that going forward, as you rightly said, this is a new initiative, this is a grey area, because we still need to find our way through the whole idea of this new act. And therefore I request industry bodies such as CII, FAPSI to work with the NGOs and also the government to ensure that there is a mechanism that is devised and set up. So going forward, we could have meetings at a regular pace, at a regular intervals, and we could actually define and align our goals. Let us be in one alignment, so that you don't end up doing something that the government is already involved in. Definitely any government can only do so much, and we always have noticed in the past, and we keep getting a lot of complaints even today as well, that any government project will have some lacunas. In any government's priority areas will have some lacunas, and those are the lacunas that we want the corporate sector to fill. Those are the lacunas you need to address. Those are the areas that you need to address, so that there is a synergy in what we do as part of this act. And we all know that corporate social responsibility, in fact, should not be mandated. This should come naturally. In fact, the estimation with this act is that in this year alone, 2014 and 15, this year alone, the estimation is that 20,000 crores of rupees will be spent by corporates because of this act, and about 6,000 odd companies would fall under this gambit. So it's a huge amount. 20,000 crores is a huge amount for a country like India. A lot of things could be done by that. This is an estimate that is subject to correction, obviously. This is what I've read up. So it is a huge amount, and when you're spending an amount such as that, which is probably as good as the budget of a small state, we need to plan well. Therefore, I appeal to the industry bodies to actually lead this effort, because as I said, this is a lacuna that the government can't fill. This is a lacuna which we're looking at the corporate world to actually come in and fill. Request you all to work with us, request you all to actually prioritize and help us in identifying those areas where government can't reach out. So once again, I congratulate Abhaya Foundation for actually taking the first step. It's a wonderful first step, because as they say, every journey begins with a single step, and this is a wonderful journey on which we've embarked. And I'm sure with foundations such as Abhaya coming forward, we can only take this forward in a very, very strong way. And I guarantee you one thing, the government of Telangana is completely committed to the whole idea of corporate social responsibility. We'll work closely with you. We'll identify, we'll prioritize, we'll ensure that our works, our efforts are aligned, our efforts are coordinated. Once again, congratulate all the corporates who are here, congratulate all the NGOs here who are here, congratulate all the delegates as well of different NGOs who are here, because this is a wonderful effort that has begun, and going forward, this can only make our country stronger and better. Thank you very much.